Hey everybody, welcome back to the Shiage Do Martial Arts video learning classes. Today we are going to be working on some different kinds of kicks that we don't necessarily do a ton of, but they're going to be kind of useful for us for more of sparring than really self-defense. They are pretty good in sparring. We're also going to work on some special tools called Nigiri Game, and at the end we're going to do some self-defense, so stick around. Okay, so the first one we're going to work on today is called the crescent kick. A crescent kick is called that because it kind of comes up and makes kind of a crescent. Crescent kicks are good for knocking somebody's guard down. If you're sparring, you can knock it off to the side before you do like a side kick. They're also good to kind of sweep across your opponent's vision, kind of throw them off a little bit, distract them, make them think about something else. I like using them as blocks, honestly. They work really good against front kicks or even roundhouse kicks. So the parts to a crescent kick are really simple. If you're doing it without your foot, all you're doing is coming to one side and bringing to the outside. So one side to the outside. So if you're doing this like we're stretching, it's just coming in and out or out and in. We'll actually work on both today. If I'm doing it with my foot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically do a front kick off to the side, push with the side of my foot, and bring it back in. So it looks like this. Around and down. Around and down. And if I come outside to inside, around and down. Now, seeing that, probably a few of you have seen me do that in sparring against you. And that's okay. As I said, I love these in sparring. One of my favorite combos is pushing it off to the side and coming out with a side kick. I also love doing just the knee part of this to block with. That works really good against maybe a front kick or something that's coming a little lower to kind of push the knee off to the side and then throw my own front kick. So we're going to work on a couple drills to work on these, okay? So first thing I want you to do is find something in your house that you can kick over safely. You're going to start with something about belly button height and probably get up to something about solar plex height. If you're really good, maybe shoulder height. But we'll start low and work our way up. So if you've got a chair, chairs work pretty well, or a stack of pillows, or a stack of focus mitts, or a stack of hardcover books, or something to that effect. Something you can kick over, even if you combine a couple of those things. I got my heavy bag out the other day. It only weighs about 200 pounds, so getting it up the stairs is awesome. But it's here, it's with me, and it's ready to go. So I'm gonna work with this. Okay, so the first drill, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some crescent kicks, and we're gonna do them over the top of stuff. Okay, so if I got my crescent kick here, I'm starting at my solar plex level because I know that I can kick up to my shoulders. I want you guys to see what we're doing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my right leg. I'm gonna push it off to one side, bring it over the top, and bring it all the way to the other side. Okay, so this is just a control drill. I want to come up, over the top, up, over the top. And when I'm done with that side, I can come the other way, and I can do it with the other foot. Okay, make sure you're holding your reach chambers when you do these kicks. Okay, it's very important that you're holding your reach chambers so that you can throw that second kick. All right. If I have to put my foot down between my crescent kick and my side kick, all right, that's going to slow it down. It's going to make it so the bad guy or my opponent or whoever I'm doing this against has the opportunity to block it. Okay, so I want to try to take that away from him the best I can by keeping my knee up for as long as I can. Okay, so I'm going to work on my balance a little bit. What you're going to do for these is in each direction, on each leg, start with 10 kicks. If you've never done these before, you're going to start with 10. If you've done these before, I want you to go straight to 50. Okay? And it's literally, I want you to go slow. 1, 2, 3. Okay? This is going to work a different muscle than you normally work. Okay? You're going to feel this for the outside ones, right on the top of your thigh here, on the corner, where you didn't think you had a muscle, and on the inside, it's going to be the top on the inside here, okay? These muscles aren't ones that we necessarily use a lot for other kicks, but the stronger you get these, the better they work, All right, if you've ever thought about how much force it takes to do a front kick, I can use my big fat muscle right here, my quad, to kick with, all right, so that I'm pushing with my whole foot and I'm pushing with my whole leg, and that makes it really strong. But this tiny little muscle right here can help me push it to one side or the other, okay? Now, when you're done with those kicks, unpause the video and we'll work on the next drill. So once you're done with those, okay, what we're going to work on is actually making ourselves stronger and to be able to push objects with that kick. Now, I'm going to do this with my heavy bag because I have a heavy bag. If you don't have a heavy bag, a chair will work really good to start with this. And then what you can do is once you start getting stronger and stronger, you can take milk jugs, fill them with water, and set them on top of the chair, okay? You have to do this on like a hardwood floor or tile floor or something like that, because if you do this on carpet, you need to have little slider things for the feet of the chair, because otherwise you're just going to tip it over and it's not going to work very well. So my goal for this one is I'm going to get those muscles to be even stronger. So now that they're a little tired, they're a little warmed up from doing all those kicks, we're going to start pushing stuff. Okay, now if I've got a heavy bag, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to drive through. So when I hit this, I'm going to try to push and push with my hips to drive through. I want to try to push it. If you've got one that hangs from the ceiling, basically what you want is for it to swing as far as it possibly can. If you've got a chair, you're just going to try to push it and push it back. Push it one way and push it back, okay? The goal is don't put your foot down in between. Now, if you've got a heavy bag like I do, where it's got the heavy part at the bottom, what you want to do is try to tip it over each time. Now, I'm not going to tip it over right now because it's just going to sound like thunder, rolling thunder, because my mic is on the floor, and when this makes the whole thing crash and bounce, it's just no fun. All right, so what I want to do is push, push, okay? I want to push through as far as I can in both directions. Now, after you just did those 10 or 50 crescent kicks, now with your hitting stuff, your pushing stuff, I want you to do another 30 or 80. Now, if you don't have something to push around, you can also do this with just grabbing a couch cushion or a kick shield or whatever you've got at home and having a partner, a parent or a friend or a sister or a brother or whatever hold on to it for you so that they're pushing into themselves or they turn around and get pushed the other way, okay? These are both things that are gonna, you're gonna feel this, all right? You're definitely gonna feel this. That's good, okay? That makes your legs stronger this way and this way, all right? The muscles that help you push it side to side. If you get those muscles really strong, that helps with your other kicks too, your roundhouse kicks and your side kicks. If I'm doing a side kick, I'm actually using the top of my muscle here to push out with the side of my foot, okay? The next one we're going to work on is a hook kick, okay? So a hook kick is a lot like a crescent kick, except instead of a push, it's a strike. Now, hook kicks are very effective, and you can use them in fights, not just sparring. The target's going to be a little different, okay? In sparring, what I'm going to aim for is if I'm doing actually point or contact fighting, I can aim for the head or the ribs. Both of those are going to be very effective targets to kick with this. If I am contact fighting, if I'm doing it with the full contact, I can also do this to the outside or the inside of the leg. That's going to be devastating because remember, we're going to be hitting with the hammer part of our heel, okay? In a fight, that's going to be the same place that I go. I'm going to be aiming for the leg with this one. It's a very quick kick. It's a very powerful kick. And after getting hit with it a few times, I can attest it freaking hurts, okay? So we're going to work out how to do it. So crescent kicks are a lot like hook kicks, and hook kicks are a lot like crescent kicks, but the way that my hips are pointed is a little different. When I'm doing a crescent kick, my hips are going to be pointed straight at whatever it is that I'm trying to fight, okay? So when I can come around, I'm opening and closing my hips. When I'm doing a crescent kick, when I'm doing a hook kick, my hips are pointed towards what I'm kicking. It's kind of like the opposite action of a roundhouse kick, okay? If a roundhouse kick comes out, a hook kick is going to come back, all right? And I'm going to be hitting with the back of the heel here. So we're gonna start nice and easy. I want you to have a target. Start with it at belt height. See if you can do it there. Maybe work it up a little higher. Especially with this one, because you can use it as a head kick. Practice getting it up there. All right. If you got something that you can kick over, you know, that gets it up to your head, then do it. All right. That's a great place to do. One of the things that I've done this with before is a camera tripod. If you got a camera tripod, you can keep cranking it up and up and up and up and up. Just don't spread the legs out all the way so that if you kick it over, you're not breaking it. Okay. So for this one, just to demonstrate, I'll leave it low and then I'll work it up for myself. So what it's going to be is my hips are going to point towards this. All right. So I'm sideways to my target. I'm going to chamber in front like I'm doing every single other kick that we do. Front kick, side kick, roundhouse kick, back kick. I'm going to basically do a 45-degree blade kick and then hook it back as hard as I can. So out and back. Okay. So if I do it quick, it comes here. All right, if I turn a little bit so you can see it, it's gonna come here, okay? Now remember, I'm hitting with the back of my heel. And I can work this up, all right, so that it's closer to my, my shoulder height and my head height so that I can work on my kick like that. Now, we're going to do 2 drills. The first one is I want you to do it over the object. For this one again, if you've never done these, I want you to start with 10. Work 10 each leg, and if you want, you can add a roundhouse kick to the other side. So you do a hook kick and a roundhouse kick. If you've done these before, what I want you to do is 50 of them, okay, with each leg. So you're going to come through, you're going to hit it, you're going to come through, you're going to hit it, all right? When you're done with your kicks, you're going to unpause the video, come on back, and I'll give you the next drill. Okay, for the last one with the hook kicks, what we're going to do is we're going to practice this. Now you can do this in a couple different ways, okay? We're going to practice control for our hook kick. We can do this in a couple different ways. One of the great ways to do this is if you've got a corner of a room, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to basically just stand with your back against the wall so that the corner's behind you. You would do basically your 45-degree blade kick that comes out, and you're going to try to kick around, and you're going to just barely touch the wall, okay? So this is going to be a very slow kick, okay? These are called isometrics. Isometrics means that I'm engaging all the muscles at the same time, all right? So I'm pushing and pulling at the same time to give myself a little bit of extra control, a little bit, slow it down for me, okay? The other way you can do this is how I'm going to do it here, which is with the bag, okay? So I can do this with the bag. Basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to have my shoulders line up. So it's the face of the bag. I'm going to pick my knee up in front, bring it out, touch, up, in, down. All right, it's going to be that slow. Up, out, touch, out, in, down. Okay? Take it slow. Slow is good. Okay? What you're going to do with that one, with both legs, is you're going to start with 15 kicks. And if you got to stop in between them, all right, stop in between them. If you've never done them before, you're going to do 15 kicks. If you've done them before, you're going to do 50 again. And this is going to take you a little bit of time. Don't rush, okay? Your legs are going to be tired when you're done with this. Good, okay? We're working on muscles we don't normally use. I promise tomorrow we'll do something else so that you won't trash your legs, so that you can still run around and do whatever you got to do. But what I want is nice and slow. You're just going to barely touch and bring it back in, okay? So if you've done these before, 50 kicks, slow like that. Out, touch, out, back. If you got to count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll actually be 5 because I want you to hold your reach hammer, okay? If you've never done these before, you're going to do 15, okay? But make sure that you're spending your time doing them. Now, when I tell you guys whether you've done them before or not done them before, how many you want to do. If you are like, oh man, I love doing new stuff and I love this karate stuff, and you know what, dang it, I'm going to just do a bunch of them. Then good for you. Do all of them, all right? If you've never done this before and you don't feel comfortable with what you're doing, do them slow. Start slow. That's okay. You're going to be sore. If you've never done them before, but you're like super gung-ho, Nick, I'm looking at you, all right, and you want to just do a million of them, good, do them, all right? I have no problem with that. Just take it slow and understand that you will feel sore, okay? So the next thing we're going to work on today are called Nigiri Game, okay? Nigiri Game are traditionally clay pots. They're called gripping jars. They came from China. They were adopted by Okinawans, and they're one of the traditional weight training tools that Okinawans would use for building grip strength. Now, today what we're going to do is make our own. So what I did is I got these 2-liter bottles, okay? I filled them with water. You could also do this with a milk jug, or if you're really feeling ambitious, laundry soap, one of the big gallon ones, or the bigger than a gallon ones, okay? Basically what you're looking for is a small ridge on top to be able to grab onto, and for it to hold between 1 liter and 4 liters of water, okay? Now, a liter of water weighs a little bit over 2 pounds, just a little bit, okay? So this is gonna weigh like 4 1/4, 4 1/2, depending on how much water you shoved in there, all right? And basically it's just a 2-liter pop bottle. There's nothing special about this. All I did was I filled it with water so that I can play with it because they were empty, all right? And what you're gonna do is we're gonna work on our grip strength, okay? Now, if you're having a hard time with a full 2-liter bottle, you can make it a little smaller and go with, just fill it halfway to 1 liter, okay? If you're working with a milk jug, okay, you're not going to grab the handle. You're forbidden from grabbing the handle. And if you want to really make it challenging, tape around the handle so that you definitely can't grab it, okay? So traditionally, with Nigiri Game, there's a little bit of form to do this. What you're going to do is, if you've ever seen Naihanchi stance or Sanshin Dachi, for those of you who've been around a while, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my feet towards each other a little bit. I'm going to kind of sink my rib cage down and pull my butt forward, okay, here, to keep myself nice and strong, get my core engaged, okay? So what I'm going to do, the first one is just going to be stepping. So I'm going to get into a good stance. I'm going to step down, and I'm going to grab just the ridge, okay? So I'm going to be grabbing the ridge around the cap with my fingers as tight as I can. Okay, from here, I'm keeping my rib cage nice and engaged. All right, so from here, nice and easy, all we're doing is just holding it away from our body. I'm going to step, step. Make sure you lock back in your stance. Step. Okay, we can go side to side, like we're doing a kata. All right, and if you want, you can add this into your kata training. Okay, you can add this to Seisan or Seimchin or something like that to go from stance to stance. Okay, so once you feel pretty confident about this, all right, once you're feeling it, the next one we're gonna do is swings. So it's gonna be here, step forward, step forward. All right, I can go front swing, all right, and that's gonna make it even harder to hold on to, okay? That's why I said fill these with water, because if you fill them with something else and they slam on the ground, okay, I don't want them to break, but they are a pop bottle and everybody's seen it happen. So if it does happen, at least it's just water, okay? If you're worried about it happening, wrap it in duct tape. All right, so what we can do, step, swing, step, swing, okay? You can swing to the side, swing to the side. And I know I'm making this look easy, but I do this all the time, okay? So what I want is I want to keep those fingers dug in there, all right? The point of this is to build your grip strength. You're going to try to dig into something that's not very big and squeeze it as hard as you can. You can also do this if you've ever seen those eagle claw grip weights, the ones that the kung fu guys in the movies, they have the metal rings that are on their hands. If you have something like that that has weight to it, those also work really well. Or a dumbbell turned on its side. So if you got like a 5-pound or an 8-pound dumbbell and you turn it on its side so you're just grabbing the edge, that works really well too, okay? So we're gonna step with the swings, step, swing, and I'm gonna keep my arms engaged and my body engaged and my core engaged the whole time I'm doing this, okay? It's building that isometrics up again. The other one I can do here is if I step into a horse stance, I can swing. Swing. I put them all together. Step, swing, swing. Okay? That's going to build up that holding on function. Okay? So if you're doing these at home, here's what I want you to do. Okay? You're going to grab onto it as tight as you can, keeping your whole body engaged. Okay? I want you to do at least 10 swings, at least 30 steps, and at least 15 body twists in a horse stance. Alright? Before putting them down. Okay? So if you got to make them a little lighter to be able to do it, that's okay. Alright? Try not to drop them. Now, the other thing is, I want to be grabbing them with all of my fingers. It's really easy to take my hand and start taking fingers off, right? And grabbing with the side of my fingers instead. That's not what I want. I want you grabbing with just your fingertips, okay? You should feel, when you're doing this exercise, that it hurts right here and right here. And maybe even here, depending on how strong you are and the direction that your thumb is going. If your thumb's going sideways, okay, you'll feel it more here. If your thumb's pointed at it and you're grabbing it with the pointy part of your thumb, you'll feel it more here, okay? Both are acceptable, but figure out what's comfortable to you because you want to be able to grab and hold on to it, all right? Another option that you have with these, because if you have a pop bottle, is you can grab around the outside. Now this is going to be hard if your hands are a little bit smaller, okay? So you can do it with two hands, but what you want is to grab it with both hands or one hand from the top, okay? So when you sit in your horse stance, you're gonna sit down, and if you've got one hand, I've got a couple of these, so I'm gonna do them like this. What I want is just, they're like you're on a rowing bike or an elliptical, or you're just throwing horizontal punches. You're gonna try to keep your grip strength and throw them out one at a time. If you don't have the grip strength yet and you're doing them two at a time, that's fine. Do them together. You want to basically do it for a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You want to be holding that out for 2 counts. Okay? These things, hold on to these. If you make these, hold on to them. Okay? Because we're going to do some other stuff with them. And I'll tell you again how to make them. But I love making training tools that you can make out of just stuff that you have in your house. So pop bottles, the 2-liter pop bottles, have a couple of those. And if you've got milk jugs, the gallon milk jugs, have a couple of those. Okay. Now the quart-sized, or the quart-sized milk jugs. So if you don't buy milk by the gallon, you buy it by the half gallon or the quart. Those also work for this. All right. They're going to be a little bit lighter, but they got a little bit of a wider grip. Now that's okay. The part of this that's important is that it's got a little ridge for you to hold on to. So if you've got a wider mouth jug, or if you've got a water bottle that's nice and sturdy, that's got a rim on it, you can grab those instead. I just like these because everybody's got one of these laying around at least to work with. All right. Alright, so today, since I got Tanya with me, we're going to be doing some self-defense. We're going to start with a couple easy ones. Now, if you are training with somebody, alright, make sure, if they're a karate person, make sure that, you guys all know the rules. We're not trying to kill each other. If they're not a karate person, alright, just work with them, okay? Try to help them out so that they're doing some of this stuff the way that you expect, right? Give them an opportunity to practice it too. But if they're doing a punch and you can't figure it out, send me a message or something, okay? If they're a lot bigger than you, a lot smaller than you, maybe we change the technique a little bit, okay? But that's good. If they're doing something and you're having a hard time, that's probably a good thing, okay? Bad guys are usually not the ones that are trying to help us out, okay? So and if you are being a bad guy, let them get it the first couple times so they figure out what it is they're doing with their hands before you start resisting too hard, okay? So the ones we're going to start with today are all going to be straight out of kata. These are going to be punches to the face. So the first one we're going to do is out of Kusan Ku kata. If you don't know this kata, it's your blue belt kata. And if you do know this kata, this is one of my favorite moves out. So what's going to happen here is Tanya's going to be my bad guy. She's throwing her punch to my face. I'm going to block across here. And at the same time, I'm going to keep my shoulders together and strike down at the side of her head. She flips her hair to the other side so you can see my target here. What I want to do is come right down underneath the jaw, right underneath the ear, okay? So if she throws that punch, block, strike, all right? Block, strike, right? Remember, don't kill your partner. Be careful with this. If you chop somebody in the neck, all right, you can really hurt them, okay? So have good control. Work it nice and slow the first couple times, okay? And work it up from there. Get that speed in there. Okay, if you are working with a partner and you guys are pretty confident with each other, maybe your brother and sister and you've been doing this a while, or sister and sister, or brother and brother, or whatever, right? If that punch comes in, right, you can get moving, that's cool, okay? But don't kill your partner, right? So, practice that one 10 times, both people, both sides, all right? If I'm blocking with the other side, I'm just keeping my other shoulders straight, all right? All right, so the next one is going to be out of Wansu Kata, okay? This is your advanced orange belt kata if you don't know that. This time what's going to happen is this punch comes straight to my face. What I'm going to do is open hand head block, just like the basic, all right? From here, I have two options. If I've been fighting this person a while, okay, and they're starting to pick up on my stuff, I might try with a fake uppercut before I front kick, all right? If this is the first time, and I'm probably just going to hit her. Okay, so she comes in, block, strike here. I'm aiming for the bottom of her jaw right here, or also acceptable is her throat. And then I'm going to do a front kick, and I want to aim for her knee. Now, remember, if you're aiming for your partner's knee, we like our partner. We don't want to kill our partner because we need them to keep practicing with us, or for us to keep practicing. Okay, so don't kill your partner. Do it off to the side. So the punch comes in. It's going to be a block, hammer or uppercut. And then my front kick, I want you guys to get that strength in there. I want you to have that pop in there. Just don't kill your partner, okay? So it's 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, okay? Make it a fake. It can be either, all right, but work both. Both hands, both sides, both partners, 10 times, and then move on. All right, the last one we're going to do today is going to be out of Chinto, okay? Chinto is going to be the one right at the end. So this one, what's going to happen is this punch comes into my head. All right, I'm going to block the side, and I'm going to come in hammer fist right to her shoulder. And when I'm doing this, I'm going to aim for that notch, that notchy notch right here on the top of your shoulder. Okay, like you got a ball that is your shoulder, and then there's the ball that is your shoulder, and then the notch on the inside. Right, you can find that. There's a nice little nerve that runs in there. Okay, if I hammer fist this real good. All right, I'm going to dislocate your shoulder. Remember, you're working with your partner. Don't kill your partner. Don't actually hammer fist them. You can make it connect, right? But don't drive through. If it's a bad guy, by all means. But if it's your partner, don't kill him. Okay? So, punch comes in. It's going to be a block here, hammer fist. All right? And if you really feel like you need it, add that front kick back in there. Okay? Just like in Wansu. All right? So, with this one again, block, hammer fist. Maybe add the front kick. You're going to do that both sides, both partners, 10 times each. All right? All right, that's it for self-defense today. Now we're going to move on to something else. Okay, that was our self-defense for the day. And that's it. All right, thanks for sticking with us. We've got some announcements. All right, so the end of this week, April 3rd, is going to be the last day that I accept t-shirt contest designs. All right, I've got about a dozen of them or so ready to go. All right, but if you've got them, make sure they get to me. Okay, so either email them to me, have your parents take a good quality text image, like a cell phone image, text it to me, or however they got to get it to me. All right, so I need something so that I can put it up so we can vote on it. If you win, I'll come after you for the original so I can get the highest quality scans and that kind of stuff. But at least so that we can vote on them, I need a decent scan or a decent picture so we can do that. Videos. There's a couple of you guys who are religiously sending me videos every week, and that's awesome. I want to thank you guys, because when you guys send me videos of you guys training, that helps me, all right? That keeps me motivated so that I'm doing these because I love teaching, but half of the reason that I love teaching is I love having people in front of me to teach. At some point, I will figure out how to take a picture of my camera setup here. The fact that I've got a camera, or my phone is my camera, is kind of the sticking point with that. But I don't have people to teach to. I don't have people to teach with. So it kind of sucks for me to be able to sit here. So I love getting those videos because that gives me something to do. It gives me something to watch and to give feedback on. And that's honestly part of teaching too, is watching you guys figuring out what's going on. So if you're doing those, awesome. Thank you so much for doing those. If you're not yet, just take a quick video. It doesn't have to be long. Whatever is on your requirements page at Dojo Expert, or just if you're working on a specific kata you want me to work on or to watch, or if it's just something that we did during the week that you want me to watch. Take a 2-minute video and send it to me. We've got the Dropbox stuff set up. That information is in the Dojo Expert login. That has all the information at the bottom of the page, which is where the warm-ups are and all that stuff. So get in there, drop the videos off, and just so that that I can help you guys and I can do the other half of teaching too, instead of just standing up here and looking silly. The last thing we're doing starting next week is going to be our Focus Mitt giveaway. I've got a half dozen Focus Mitts or a dozen Focus Mitts. There's a bunch of them. What I want to do is I'm going to issue you guys some challenges. They might be hard, they might be easy. Some of them are going to be physical, like how many push-ups or how many sit-ups or whatever. All right, what I'm doing is the first 2 people who respond to that challenge, all right, whatever it is, and I'll tell you how to submit that to me. The first 2 people who respond to that challenge are going to get a Focus Mitt that week, all right? So I will drop them off at their house. They'll have a Focus Mitt to help them continue training. It's just kind of a thank you from me to see that, hey, you are training, good job, and that to kind of spread the wealth a little bit, because I got a bunch of training stuff that I can't use right now. So giving it to you guys where you guys can use it at home, kind of encourage you to keep doing it, is something that I want to do. So we're going to be doing that. So watch these videos in April, okay, starting next week. That's going to be when we start doing them, all right? The last thing is, today's Tuesday. The newsletter should go out today, so make sure you read that. And other than that, I got nothing. Thanks, everybody, for coming in again. You are dismissed. Us!